Welcome to a Gobbet of Pus. Number 70, World AIDS Day, from December 2nd, 2008. Today is World AIDS Day. The start of the AIDS epidemic coincided with the start of my medical career. I do not want to suggest causality here, but to quote the Grateful Dead, what a long, strange trip it's been. I took care of my first AIDS patient about 25 years ago, and he died after a long, wasting illness due to widespread Mycobacterium avium. The autopsy showed tissues that were more acid-fast bacilli than human cells. It was kind of like a real-life invasion of the body snatchers. My second patient was a circus dwarf with cryptococcal meningitis who liked to visit the bathhouses during his travels. The next 15 years were an endless parade of awful deaths in young people, with occasional bursts of hope, monotherapy with AZT, double therapy, followed by disappointment as therapies failed and the death toll continued to mount. I never really expected that triple drug therapy would be so effective. The deaths were all the more aggravating as we knew early on how the disease was spread: sex and drugs. The techniques to prevent the spread of disease are simple: condoms and needle exchange. Both are still opposed by those who would prefer their form of morality over preventing people from dying. The African Bishop of Mozambique declared that condoms spread HIV, not prevent it, and his higher-ups, i.e. the Pope, have still failed to condemn or disagree the statement. So many people who have died needlessly. In the book The Band Played On, the response to the early HIV epidemic is compared to toxic shock syndrome. It was a shame, the author said, that AIDS didn't start in freckled-faced, red-haired children. It's been a changed landscape. I've had one AIDS death this century, and the only opportunistic infections I have seen since 2000 are pneumocystis. Heart, much to my very happy surprise, really works. My patients no longer die, and that's a good thing. Now, I wrote this in 2008, but in 2010 I'm starting to see AIDS again, not due to the failure of heart, but to the failure of insurance. People have lost their insurance. They cannot afford the $18,000 to $20,000 a year of medications. They progress. They're getting AIDS, and they're dying. Unfortunately, I can't put on their death certificate, cause of death, the American healthcare system. I'll finish with a quote from Hubert H. Humphrey. The moral test of government is how the government treats those who are in the dawn of life, the children, those who are in the twilight of life, the elderly, those who are in the shadows of life, the sick, the needy, and the handicapped. Hubert always was wordy. Mahatma Gandhi put it simpler: a nation's greatness is measured by how well it treats its weakest members. And now where can I get a cheeseburger? The United States healthcare system belongs on Failblog. See you next time for a Gobbet of Pus.